are continuing on with the Cleric from the 2024 Player's Handbook. Lots of cool quality of life changes here. Like I said, not going through spell casting. That'll be a different video if you guys want it. Level 1, you can choose to go the martial route with martial weapons and heavy armor. Or you can go the spell casting routes. You get an extra cantrip and a bonus to Arcana and Religion checks equal to your Wisdom modifier. Channel Divinity gives you a couple options, and you start out with 2 Channel Divinity uses, which is really cool. And then those come back on, you can get 1 back on a short rest, and all of them back on a long rest. You can do Divine Spark using the magic action, and you can roll 1d8, add your Wisdom modifier to restore hit points, or to deal radiant or necrotic damage to them, your choice. And then you roll an additional d8 as those things level up, kind of scales like a cantrip, which I think is cool. And then of course you get Turn Undead. Each undead within 30 feet of you makes a Wisdom saving throw. It is of your choice, so if you, for some reason, have someone in your party with an undead feature, I don't know, then they do not have to make it, unless you want them to. If they fail, they are frightened and incapacitated for 1 minute, and they have to move as far away from you as they can. And then the effect ends early if they take any damage, if they have the incapacity condition, or if you die. And that's cool. That's each undead, and it takes away the CR rating for that. At level 5, that becomes Seer Undead instead of Destroy Undead, but it will still destroy low-level undeads. So when you use Turn Undead, roll a number of d8s equal to your Wisdom modifier, and each undead that fails its saving throw takes a radiant damage equal to the roll's total. So you can still deal damage to higher level undead and still destroy lower level undead, because you couldn't just deal damage before. So level 7, Blessed Strikes is another martial versus spellcaster choice. You either get to add 1d8 necrotic or radiant damage, or you get to add your Wisdom modifier to your cantrips. The first one is, of course, attack rolls with a weapon. You add the 1d8, and then the second is the cantrip. Those were both subclass options, and same with the proficiencies earlier. But now it's kind of just baked into the core class. At level 10, Divine Intervention has changed. I'm not really angry about it. As a magic action, choose any cleric spell, 5th level or lower, that doesn't require a reaction to cast, and you can do so without a spell slot or material components. This is really cool because you can use Revivify or even Raise Dead for free, and you don't need any material components, so no diamonds. So that's nice. And that's once per long rest. And level 14, improved Blessed Strikes. You, if you go the martial routes, then that's 2d8 instead of 1d8. And if you are casting a cantrip and deal damage with it, then you can grant temporary hit points equal to twice your Wisdom modifier to yourself or to a friend. Of course, you get an epic boon, which we'll cover in a different video, and Greater Divine Intervention, which allows you to cast the Wish spell, which then in turn allows you to cast any spell of 8th level or lower, in addition to a bunch of other stuff. Then we're going to skip the Cleric spell list. If you want to see me go through the spells, let me know, and I'll make a different video on that. We have first the Life domain, which I believe is more or less the same. If you want to heal, this is the subclass for you. When you use a spell slot and cast a spell that restores hit points, then you get extra healing equal to 2 plus the spell slot's level. You get your domain spells, and as a magic action, you can expend Channel Divinity to restore a number of hit points equal to 5 times your cleric level. The person or people that you heal have to be bloodied, which means half HP or lower, and you can only bring them up to half HP. So you can't really use this as a top off. It's more of like, ah, crap, you're all down. Everybody's back up. And so that can come in pretty clutch, I'd say, if you are the designated healer. Even if you're not, still. Let's see, level 6, Blessed Healer. When you heal others with a spell slot, casting a spell that restores hit points to someone other than yourself, you regain hit points equal to 2 plus the spell slot's level. Nothing crazy there. And then Supreme Healing, instead of rolling for healing, you do the max, highest number possible for each die. So nothing crazy with the life domain. It's kind of bread and butter cleric. Alright, the light domain. You get your light domain spells, and you get Radiance of Dawn. You can use your Channel Divinity to create light within 30 feet of you, 30-foot emanation out from you. Any magical darkness is dispelled, and each creature of your choice needs to make a saving throw or take radiant damage equal to 2d10 plus your cleric level, as the light blinds them and deals damage. It doesn't actually blind them, it just deals damage, it looks like. Yeah. The next one? No, next one doesn't blind them either. Okay. Warding Flare. If someone is attacking you, take a reaction, impose disadvantage with your flare. And you can do that a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, and you get those back on a long rest. Then you can improve your Warding Flare at level 6. You regain your expended uses on a short or long rest, and you can use your Warding Flare. When you use your Warding Flare, the recipient, the person benefiting from that, also gets temporary hit points equal to 2d6 plus your wisdom modifier. And then Corona of Light, you make some sunlight, I believe. Is that? Yeah. Aura of Sunlight lasts for 1 minute. Bright Light for 60 feet. Dim Light for another 30 feet. Anyone in the bright light enemies in the bright light have disadvantage on saving throws against Radiance of Dawn, and any spells that deal fire or radiant damage. And you can use that a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, and you regain your uses when you finish a long rest. I think the old version of that, you just get 1 use, and so I like that it's tied to your wisdom modifier now. Next we have the Trickery domain, which I think got some improvements. You can give yourself or a friend advantage on dexterity stealth checks, and I believe it lasts until you finish a long rest or until you use it again. I believe the old feature, you could only use it on an ally, you couldn't use it on yourself, which didn't make a lot of sense. You get your domain spells, and you can invoke Duplicity. You can cast spells from the illusion's space. You kind of project an illusion of yourself within 30 feet. And you can use your illusion to distract another creature if you're within 5 feet of it. You have advantage on attack rolls against that creature. This is kind of, I think, a really good melee-focused cleric. And then as a bonus action, you can move the illusion up to 120 feet from yourself. At level 6, when you move the illusion as a bonus action, you can teleport, swapping places with it, which is nice. And so you can potentially get 120 feet of... where do we go? Yeah, 120 feet of teleportation by doing that. And then level 17, they did away with having multiple duplicates because that really didn't help at all. And instead, when you and your allies are making an attack roll and that creature is within 5 feet of your illusion, the attack rolls have advantage, which is cool. And when the illusion ends, your creature of your choice within 5 feet of it regains hit points equal to your cleric level. Doesn't really fit thematically, but hey, you know, it's a free feature, we'll take it. Finally, we have the War Domain. And War Domains get Guided Strike. When you or a creature miss with an attack roll within 30 feet of you, you can give that plus 10 to hit. And if you give it to someone else, they have to take their reaction to receive that plus 10. I feel like it's not a worthwhile distinction to make. I don't know why they added that, but oh well. You also get your War Domain spells. And then you get War Priest. You can, as bonus action, make a weapon attack. You can use that a number of times equal to your Wisdom modifier, and those come back on a short or long rest. Level 6, you get Shield of Faith and Spiritual Weapon for free. You don't need to cast a spell slot. You instead use your Channel Divinity. And if you do it this way, it doesn't require concentration, which Spiritual Weapon now requires concentration. Which I believe it didn't before. And then at level 17, very simply, you gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Not crazy capstone, but hey, you know, we'll take it. Next up, we are going to be looking at the Druid.